All right. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. It is 4:30 p.m. Central Time. It is time for office hours. This time, it's just me. Andrew is not available today. Has to run some errands. I'll be holding down the fort. And since Andrew's not here, I need to make a quick sound check on my phone just here because it's kind of hard to see and hear the stream myself. Dum. Testing audio. It looks like it's functional. All right, let's do this. And as you guys can see, I'm starting to Christmas decorate the studio here a little bit. I have the ConfigMas tree up already. And yes, we will be running ConfigMas this year again, starting up on Christmas Day and then the following 12 days after that. All right. I got some confirmation from the audience also. Thank you so much. Audio is good, is noted. I appreciate that. All right, let's see what's been going on for the last 7 days here. Go ahead and share my screen. And there we are. First of all, Ugur released a new version of his Intune assignment checker, where you basically can type in a user or group or device, and it will show you what assignments that is done to that one or assigned to that item. If you go down here on GitHub, you will see the latest download or the latest version available for download, and Ugur also had a short little video down here in the post showing how it's working. So long story short, you pick your user or device or something, and then it takes a few seconds, and then it will show you what has been assigned to that user. See if I can scroll down and pause in that exact spot. So useful utility. Worth noting is that it does require PowerShell 7. So there is actually a check in the script. So if you try to launch it from Windows PowerShell, it's going to say that nope, no can do. You have to run it on PowerShell 7. All right. Another thing I stumbled across was from our friends over at Intune.training. Adam Steve had a new video on configuring restricted user experience. So I highly recommend to watch that one if you haven't seen it. And of course, there is also a link here to the documentation that is around this feature, recently updated. Then we have our friends over at System Center Dudes. They released their Intune Community Tools 2024 edition, a collection of useful tools for folks that are managing or working with Intune environments. So I highly recommend to use or check out that one as well. Then we had a blog post from Rudy Ohms over at Patch My PC. In true Rudy Ohms style, this is one of the posts that we have to read like 3 times to really get through, but it's a deep dive explaining how the extension works in Intune management extensions. So deep information. Also a good read now during the holidays or hopefully upcoming holidays sometime. It's a good weekend read, put it that way. And finally, Simon over at Cloudway, Norway. He put together a blog post on how the Intune cleanup feature works when you have it automatically clean up devices, and what you can do when a device was cleaned out and kind of shouldn't have been cleaned out. So how to recover from that scenario. So useful post as well. I've also been arguing with my one of my SSD drives in my lab here. I have noticed that the Samsung SSD that I've been such a good fan of over years and years and years, the new 4 terabyte ones, after being in the system for a few months, and you put them under really heavy load, they started to disconnect. And I have returned 3 of them so far. So I'm super excited with that. And I also have a 2 terabyte one sitting on the exact same controller, and that one does not have the problem. So it appears to me there is something going on with these 4 terabyte devices. So earlier this week, I reached out to the tweeps out there, or followers on Twitter, asking for recommendations on enterprise grade SSDs. That is, I mean, they are designed to work better under heavy load. So I ended up finding, got a recommendation for a WD Red one. This is a usually intended for NAS devices as a caching disk, but it has marvelous write performance in terms of durability. The Samsung disks are normally around 600 terabytes written to them. This one is 5,100 terabytes written to it. So I'm going to give that one a go this evening probably, and I will let you know how it plays out next Wednesday. All right. Do we have any questions for today? I did see a comment coming in from Matt regarding the user group event in Phoenix on November 15. Absolutely, I will highlight that here in the video. So absolutely, the Phoenix user group led by Mr. Mike Terrell that I saw lurking here in the comments also. If you happen to be in the area, by all means, please join us. We're happy to have you. See if I can find the link to that one. Pretty sure I retweeted it earlier this week, but Mr. Mike Terrell is not too hard to find, and I know he was the one posting. So see if I can find that link and bring it up real quick. There we go, found it. Now if I can bring it over to the other screen, will be good. There we are. Starting at in the morning, Friday, November 15, autopilot session from yours truly, and then we have a sponsor session from 2Pint, followed by a few afternoon session as well. So if you're in the area, again, looking forward to see you there. And thank you, Matt, for sharing that or reminding me about that. Let's see, I'm going to open up the chat in a separate window, make it see a little bit easier. All right. And pretty much as I found the link, Mike just shared it here in the chat again. Oh, thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. There was a follow-up question regarding the Christmas series, and yes, I just mentioned that when we started. We are indeed gonna work on the ConfigMas series again. I'm not going to do this mistake I did the first year, where I, inspired by the holidays, decided I would do a video every single day of December. That turned out to be a little bit too much work, yeah. But we're going to do 12 days in a row, starting on the 25th, or rather the first one on the 25th. We're going to be a pre-recorded one, because I have a feeling that if I want to sneak into the studio on Christmas Day, I'll be sleeping on the patio. Yeah, so that one is going to be pre-recorded, but the other one is going to be the day of, typically. So for those of you that are new to ConfigMas, this is what we have on our sister channel here, Deployment Research. If you go to videos there and you search for ConfigMas, this is where we have the videos from previous years available. So they're usually shorter videos, 5, 10, 20 minutes long, given a specific topic. And by all means, if you do have any ideas on topics or things you would like me to cover, let me know, and I'll be happy to see if I can sneak in that into the mix. But yes, ConfigMas will happen. And it's not just ConfigMan, we call it ConfigMas and extended family, meaning Intune and MDT and Entra and other areas that we find interesting, or I find interesting, Autopilot included as well. All right. So let's see. Paul is asking, do you have any thoughts on having a workstation admin group added to local admins on all workstations via account protection policies, for a more traditional way of having for text to elevate versus using Windows Labs? Basically in scenarios where text don't want to have to go through the Labs process of finding a password. Well, obviously, that's a way of granting admin access to devices. It's way better than using custom policies, etc. But Windows Labs, from a security point of view, is of course higher security, because that password will be changed later. So, but it will work just fine. The feature that's being referred to, if I head over to my Intune tenant here, I go over to endpoint protection, endpoint security. This one here, that allows you very easily to assign members to the local admin group. So here I do have an example of having local admins for help desk. And if I go and check that policy, that was just the name. That was not the actual policy. So you can see having a group being added here. Help desk staff. Being added to the local admins group. So I have selected a local administrators group here. So very easy to set up, works well, but I like to say that Windows Labs give you a better layer of security. But heck, this gets the job done. Help desk people can log in and see. What it will look like on the device, if I go to I should have one device that is affected by that policy. Gonna borrow one of, might have it open here. No, did not. gonna borrow one of Amy's devices. If it decides to cooperate. If I open computer management on this one and check the local admin group, this is what it would look like. These SIDs here are actually groups, Entra groups that are being added to this one. If you have an individual account, it would look like this, but this is how groups would look. So if you want to translate that SID to a group name, there is a PowerShell script you can get that does that, or you can simply look it up in Graph Explorer directly and it will show you the SID of a group. So quite easy to find. All right, let's see what else. There was a comment there from Russell also in the chat regarding the lapse versus account protection policy. Indeed, commenting that yeah, it is a more secure option in the event that there is someone actually learns about a tech account's password, etc., and be able to use that to go to other machines where they would have access. So yeah, great comment there. Matt was asking if I received any quality updates for Windows 11 24 H2 for October. No, I don't think I have any devices that is part of my software update group running 24 H2. Maybe. See if this one has it. Wonder which patch this one is. I think I have to look that up. Time-wise, it looks like an October update, but have to excuse me, I haven't memorized all KBs just yet. Yeah, this is that was the .NET framework update for October. And I have a feeling that the other one is going to be the, so it's ending on 284. Yeah, this is the monthly update for. Yes, the answer is yes. I have them come down on this device. It appears to be. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Benny is asking if all workloads have been moved over to Intune. Do you see any reasons as to why to keep ConfigMgr apart from reporting? Well, it's one of those lovely, it depends. If there are things that is available only in ConfigMgr that you need to do in your environment, then yes, I recommend to keep it around. Software metering, if you have requirement for maintenance windows for software updates, if you need to do imaging, which most organizations still need to do in some capacity, or if you need to install large applications, you need to install them fairly quickly. Yeah, then you may have to keep ConfigMgr around, but that's just one of those. It's impossible to answer. It depends on what you guys are using ConfigMgr for today. Luckily, you will still have the license to use it. So it's not like it's going to cost you any additional license money, but it's that extra overhead of administration that organizations are looking into basically not have. So it could very well be that you are in a situation where you need to maintain two different systems management stacks. So yeah, it's just hard to answer because it's going to vary. I hope that helped a little bit at least. Put it this way, pretty much every customer that I work with at the moment, they come from a ConfigMgr background, and they do have Intune now as well, but they have been keeping the ConfigMgr environment around for certain things. Some for more, some for less, but they have kept it available. A good comment from Amir here also in the chat. We were talking back on how to grant people admin rights on the device, and of course adding a user or a group here to the cloud-based administrator role. That will also give them admin permissions. It's quite similar to the scenario of using account protection roles or account protection policies. If that password for a user gets compromised, the app, you can technically use it to log into other devices, whereas the Windows Lab solution will be more secure in that scenario. But yeah, it is a valid option also. Thank you for that. Let's see. There was one question coming in regarding web proxy discovery being disabled upon logon. If I have seen, no, not after logon, after Intune enrollment, and why that is. I don't know. That one I would have to look up or do some research on. It's not something I have stumbled across. I'll scribble down a note here to check that, but if I can kindly ask you to head over to our community that we have over here, and just post a question. I'll make sure to do some research on it, and we'll bring it up next office hours. And this is, by the way, a great idea if you are working on non-US hours, put it that way. I know we have folks over in Europe that is listening into office hours, but it's like midnight over in Europe, so it's obviously quite late. If you have questions that you want to post, just put them in here, and we will bring it up in office hours. So if you can put that post there, I'll make sure to check it until next time. This will have to be our basket for catching questions that is not coming in live during office hours. All right, let's see. Then it was asking if you have seen Server 22 being upgraded to 2025 automatically over the last 24 hours. No, I have not seen it, but there were some discussions this week in the community. There was specifically a Reddit thread where someone was using a third-party management tool for software updates. I forgot the name of it, but I know Niehaus posted about it. See if I can find that link. But it's basically made those servers upgrade to 2025, which this customer wasn't too happy about. Let me see if I can find that post. Yeah, Niehaus mentioned this post here that came up, and it was apparently from that patching solution that caused this issue. So I haven't seen any machines with normal policies or like Intune or ConfigMgr or anything like that getting automatically upgraded without being told to do so. All right, but I have to admit, when I saw that post first, I was like, whoops, that sounds dangerous, but it turned out to be this particular management solution causing the trouble, not the patch itself. Or patch, the OS version itself. But it will show up as an optional update if you scan for it, if you allow that. So Matt has a follow-up questions. How do you block a server for getting an upgrade? Well, simply don't offer it one. So that will do the trick. Matt is asking if you can upload screenshots to the community. Yes, the post does support screenshots, but I think there is a limit still on only one. So either if you need to upload multiple, just reply to your own post with additional screenshots, or just provide a link to where you have the photos available, something like that. But yes, it does support uploading images. Okay. I think I'm caught up with questions and comments. So much easier when I have Andrew here keeping an extra pair of eyes on them coming in, but I don't think I missed anyone. If I did, I'm terribly sorry, and please post the question again. But other than that, anything else that I can help with or answer, or anything you want to discuss? Still have 29 minutes available, so anyone have any comments? by all means, let me know. For those of you that joined late, absolutely, if you guys are in the Phoenix area, recommend joining the AZSMUG user group meeting. Free to attend, but it's in person only. No recordings, no live stream, no nothing. You have to be there to be part of the event. And speaking of events, we have an event earlier this morning up on the Academy, and I just got a notification that the recording is now available. I don't think the landing page has been updated yet, but this one here, where we were joined by, we actually did update the landing page. Richard Hicks joined us this morning for an hour and a half about Entra certificate-based authentication. So this one is available to see. The price is just right. It's free for the community. So if you want to learn about certificates and Entra or Entra-based certificates, this was a good hour and a half long session with tons of questions throughout the session. And I will share that link together with the other links here on the under the live stream. All right, Diego was asking how you configure homepage for Microsoft Edge or Chrome from Intune. Edge, yes. Chrome, no. But for Edge, it's just a very straightforward configuration policy. This one here, I believe, yeah, I was configuring. Let me go back. I was configuring these settings here for a group of pilot devices, and I had a filter for that group to only apply to one device, meaning Intune 001. And this is a great way, by the way, if you need to test things, you can use filters to only apply to a specific device. But if I go to that device here and open up, let me close and open this one. And check the policy, you can indeed see that has been coming down here from Intune in this case. So yeah, that works fine. I haven't tried Chrome, but can't imagine it'll be too difficult to do that either. Mike Taylor was asking here, did you cover that Server 2025 was released? Well, kind of. We were discussing a little bit on some notes from the community about servers being automatically upgraded, but that turned out to be basically a bug in that management software. But yeah, Windows Server 2025 is GA. Worth noting is that I can thank Mr. Mike for this one as well. But if you go to visualstudio.com, which is where I have my licenses, Server 2025 is indeed available. So worth mention also is that Microsoft released what appear to be new ADK versions for both Windows 11 and Server 2025, but they appear to be the same as the old one is. So this is just the exact same version that you have available on the ADK download side. They just made it convenient, but why they named it differently like this, that there is probably a good reason. I just don't know the reason. But if I go to the ADK download site here, that is the same version from May this year. All right. Probably worth mentioning is that the ConfigMgr team has not yet announced support for Server 2025 if you plan on using it for your infrastructure components. I expect that to be done in 24/9, but I don't know for sure. That release is a little bit delayed. It was supposed to come out now in October, but it's been, delayed a little bit. It was a comment from Russell here, playing, basically mentioned that he's been playing around with the Patch My PC and happily found that Seam Trace was available as a portable app, which is, of course, very, very nice. See if I can get that one to show. Thank you for that information, Russell. Appreciate that. And that was indeed something that we covered last week, that the Home Updater is basically a re-release, a new version of the home version from Patch My PC. So quite useful, or very useful. Let's see here. Benny had a question. Doing hybrid join, installing the ConfigMgr client through group policies in the end. Seeing the client showing all workloads in Intune. Okay, no, I got the reading wrong there. So scenario is hybrid join, ConfigMgr client gets installed, but even though it's in a pilot, in the correct pilot, it shows up as all workloads being in Intune. That I have not seen. I would need some log files from that client to be able to help why that is. Because obviously if you have, see if I can start up that environment. I had all VMs turned off earlier. I was arguing with my disk controller. But basically, if you have co-management configured, and it always takes a little bit to open up those properties. Doesn't matter what hardware you're running on. And you have the workloads to pilot, and those pilots goes to different collections. If a device is not in that collection, it should not receive those workloads for this scenario. So if that still happens, something is up, and I would need the log files to see why that is. All right. I got a follow-up comment here. Microsoft is looking into it. By all means, Benny, if you learn something, let us know, or if you want to post it in the community and send some log files, by all means do that. That works also. A follow-up clarification was that this was autopilot hybrid domain join causing this. It is a very tricky scenario, so it could very well be something there that affects it. I have not seen that behavior in regular hybrid join where the devices are joined before and then enrolled into Intune. Diego is asking if I am updated Office 2010 to 2016 using Intune. I have not. Is Office 2016 even supported? Thought it was out of support, or was about to be out of support. I think I have to double check that one. No, it's still apparently AI and Microsoft, the Wikipedia is for another year, but no, I have not done any upgrades using Intune to Office 2016. I would expect some sort of scrubbing script together with a Win32 app or an Win32 app driving it would do the trick. But I can say I have done it, not on 2010. Amir had a follow-up comment to the Patch My PC updater. Why cannot they include CNTrace in the corporate version? I don't know. I just wish that Microsoft would just made it available everywhere, like they did with the ConfigMgr client. For those of you that are Intune only folks, you might not know this, but when you install a ConfigMgr client on the device, for the past, I like to say almost 10 years now, CMTrace is included with it. But when Intune installs its agent, the management extensions, you do not get the log viewer with it, which I was hoping they would add at some point, but that seemed apparently be a hard sell. As to why that is, to me, it makes sense to, if you have log files written in a specific format, you also should include a tool that you use to read them. Yeah, anyhow, my rant on that one is done. Benny is asking, can Cloud Update do semi-annual channel yet? For what? Because Windows don't have them anymore. It must, maybe that's related to Office then? I know that Andrew has been going through a few times the different configurations for updating Microsoft 365 apps, which, well, Office, I call them Office still, but There are policies to set that. I just don't have it available in my tenant, but if you don't mind waiting with next week, I can ask Andrew about that because I know he's done it and we have showcased it here in office hours earlier. So I will put that as homework. Show office channel configurations. Right. I'll have to defer that one for a week. Okay, anything else out there? Well, I can show you this link at least to answer Benny's question. This is the Microsoft page on changing the channel, and they have for both policies as well as the Office deployment tool, as well as using admin templates through Intune to do it. But I know, again, Andrew has been working quite a bit with this, so I will next week on that one. All right. Any other questions? Still have 12 minutes to go. I don't see any other questions coming in. So you guys are letting me off easy today. All right. All right. All right then. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the many good comments and questions and discussions. As always, have a fantastic rest of your week and hope to see you again next Wednesday. Bye for now.